Hi everyone, Comic Reviewer here, this time reviewing on issue 1 of The Unstoppable Wasp. Now as you know, The Unstoppable Wasp was meant to be this series featuring Hank Pym's long-lost daughter, Nadia, who is obviously meant to be the main Marvel counterpart to the MCU version of Hope. And obviously, her character was just made and thrown in to be promotional material for Hope's character. And in the main Marvel continuity, Hank Pym had a first wife. Turns out, Nadia's meant to be Hank Pym's first wife's child, and is obviously meant to be Hank Pym, but as a girl. And the cover mainly has Nadia with her teammates in their lab Team Girl. And the story mainly starts off where, a team of AIM scientists break into a special lab. We see how Monica gets Seeker to try and find any materials and all that. And we see how Nadia is practicing her driving lessons with Jarvis. And after getting words from Janet, we see how she mainly drops Jarvis as well as Mockingbird's car back to the Avengers mansion and tries to sort out the problems on her own. And we see how, at the Hank Pym Labs, which has the Division Girls, which stands for Genius in Action Research Labs, we see how, Nadia's friends and teammates are meant to be kind of like, a team of scientists trying to make a difference in the world. And they mainly get ready to try and help Nadia out. And we see how, this does kind of give off a lot of Team Flash vibes. Where we see how they mainly control the computer monitor. And, Nadia having robotic bees, which kind of gives off a lot of Power Rangers vibes. And we see how, Nadia kind of checks the area for AIM scientists in a tank. And we see how Seeker kind of reminds everyone to keep a watch out for Wasp and that. And we see how, after taking down some AIM scientists, tranquilizing them, stinging them to death, as well as dissolving a tank in a matter of seconds, we see how Nadia makes quick work of them thanks to her teammates. And we see how, Janet, who was the original Wasp, as well as her co-worker Alexis, mainly point out about the investors, everything that needs to happen to work perfectly and can't have any screw-ups. So of course we see how Janet meets up with the investors, talks about the Division Girls and the process of it helping young female inventors and helping them to kind of go the distance. And we kind of see how, Nadia mainly goes in, takes down some of the AIM scientists, and turns one's gun into a giant one, and takes out one of the other AIM scientists, and tries to deal with Seeker. So of course, we see how, after duking it out with each other, it turns out that, Nadia notices that it's one of the people that she's trying to recruit, Ember, and even points out about Hank Pym, which obviously, she thinks her father's dead, and even Nadia knows Hank wasn't a perfect person and wasn't the nicest kind of guy. But we see how, Amber makes her big escape, and we see how back at Girl, we see how, Nadia talks with Jarvis about the whole Hank Pym thing, but we see how, the Division Girl has finally been invested, and turns out she needs to kind of make an invention in 2 weeks. And this is Nadia knowing that, she's in deeper water than she already was in. And this is the story. So I think, issue 1 of The Unstoppable Wasp isn't a bad story. And you can understand that Nadia is trying to be what I think Hank wanted to be. Trying to be a hero. Trying to do things for the right reasons. The only difference is Hank was unintentionally his own worst person and failed to take any real responsibility for his actions. At least Nadia understands that Hank wasn't the nicest kind of guy and did bring out the worst in himself than taking responsibility. At least Nadia can understand that, yeah, she doesn't want to emulate her dad's mistakes and actually acts what I think a young, inspiring person would be. And sometimes not wanting to emulate your parents' mistakes shows that you are trying to be something better, trying to be something a lot stronger. So I think this one definitely deserves a thumbs up. Still good, and still right. So, Comic Reviewer here, signing out.